Child labor in India important for GS-2 preparation/syllabus under social. The Labor Ministry has constituted a task force to ensure the effective implementation of the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act, 1986. Who is a child? Child, as defined by the Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulations Act 1986, is a person who has not completed the age of 14 years. What is child labor? The International Labor Organization (ILO) defines child labor as work that deprives children of their childhood, their potential and their dignity, and that is harmful to their physical and mental development. However, children or adolescents who participate in work that does not affect their health and personal development or interfere with their schooling is not child labor. Example, helping their parents at home, assisting family or earning pocket money outside school hours and on holidays. Child labor in India. Statistics. According to 2011 census, there were more than 10.2 million economically active children in the age group of 5 to 14 to 5.6 million boys and 4.5 million girls. Child labor has decreased in rural areas, however, it has increased drastically in the urban areas. An analysis 2016 by CRY Child Rights and U of Census data shows that the overall decrease in child labor is only 2.2% per year from 2001 to 2011. There are 5 states which are the India's biggest child labor employers: Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Nature of child labor in India. 1. Change in location of work. There has been an increasing involvement of children in home-based works and in the informal sector. The change in type of child labor mainly attributes to enforcement of legislation and awareness amongst buyers about child exploitation. Nature of work in rural-urban areas. In urban areas, a large number of children are engaged in manual domestic work, rag picking, restaurants, motor repair shops, etc. In rural sector, children are engaged in the agricultural sector, including cotton growing, glass, matchbox and brass and log making factories, in embroidery, rag picking, bead rolling, in the carpet making industry, in mining and stone quarrying, brick kilns and tea gardens, amongst others. Gender. The division of labor is gender specific, with girls being engaged in more domestic and home-based work, and boys working as wage laborers. Bonded child labor. Bonded labor means the employment of a person against a loan or debt or social obligation by the family of the child or family as a whole. Bonded child laborers are often found in agriculture sector or assisting their families in brick kilns and stone quarries. The Bonded Labor Liberation Front estimates 10 million bonded children in India. Migrant children. Migrant children are often forced to drop out schools and are inevitably put to work at work sites. Causes of child labor. Poverty and indebtedness. Poverty is the greatest cause of child labor. For impoverished households, income from a child's work is usually crucial for his or her own survival or for that of the household. Children are also bonded to labor due to a family indebtedness. Rural poverty and urban migration also often exposes children to being trafficked for work. Adult unemployment and underemployment. High prevalence of adult unemployment and underemployment often force children to work to support family. Illiteracy and ignorance of child's parents. Illiteracy of the child's parents further worsens the situation. Illiteracy and lack of awareness of the harmful effects of child labor make them violate the law and put their children under the risk of inhuman exploitation. Lack of access to basic and meaningful quality education and skills training. The prevailing educational infrastructure is highly unsuitable to children of economically deprived families. Further deplorable quality of education has led to increasing dropout rates and forced children into child labor. Compulsory education does not cover 15 to 18 age group. However, being illiterate or school dropouts, these children are vulnerable and often exploited as part of informal, unskilled and casual workforce. Demand for child labor. Increasing demand for child labor, especially in urban areas, is an important reason of prevalence and increase in child labor. Children are employed because they are cheap and flexible according to the demands of the employer and not aware of their rights. Cultural factors. An expectation that children should contribute to the socio-economic survival of the family and community, as well as the existence of large families, contribute to prevalence of child labor. Children often take up families' traditional work from an early age. For example, a goldsmith's son takes to goldsmithery, or a carpenter's child takes up carpentry from an early age. Social factors. There is a strong correlation between India's differentiated social structure and child labor. The majority of child laborers in India belong to the so-called lower castes, the tribal and Muslim religious minority. Impact of prevalence of child labor.